friend, the pump truck, leaves me that big ugly mess. Of course, he has to clean out his truck. So, now, I take my little shovel and I shove it into my sand pile and I mix it all up in my sand. That way I don't have that great big chunk of concrete left behind. You know what I mean? The day after. We poured yesterday, and today we're stripping forms. We're gonna start by taking down all the braces. Then we gotta run along and take out all the 2x4s I put along the bottoms of the wall to make my walls straight. And then we'll be using a tie breaker to strip forms. And I'll show you how the tie breaker works. So my first step is I take out all the screws on my bottom board, and I take out all the screws that I put in for my level. This is our next job, guys. Master Sam is doing all the tie breaking. So guys, this little tie is what holds our cement together in our wall, and that's our little tie breaker. So all it does is run on the clip, and Sam's going to show you how to break it. And that releases the strength of the cement inside. Then the next job, it will be hit here with a hammer, and they'll pop out.
So today we're taking off the clips off of the forms after Sam has already broken the ties off. And this is my dad's stiletto hammer, and hopefully we can get a sponsorship and get a bunch more of these.
The first form is always the hardest to come out. So guys, remember my septic pipe hole? It's pretty nice, eh? You don't have to drill a hole in the concrete. And there's my wall height. Isn't that wonderful? Can't wait to put some wood on this cement.
This is what's left after the form, and we use it. We take it off with the tie breaker, and then we bang her flush.
So guys, my Cadillac's back in the spot, and I got the job to reload all those forms that I carried into that hole. Except now I just have to lift them over a wall. And it's a little heavy work. But it could work for me for 40 hours a week. Or I could work for someone else for 40 hours a week. And it's still work. So I'd like to work for me instead. There's my operator. See her there sitting in the cab? Hey, Luce! You ready to drive that machine or what? So, you'll see me load a couple of forms and put them back on my old float, and I'll tuck that float away for another house someday again. So YouTube, my next step is I'm gonna chip all of those little blocks off the pins that are on the outside, or the ties I mean. And I'll show you how I do that. And this morning I got to go feed my cows, and son of a gun, if I didn't get stung by a bee.
A bee?
Well, a little wasp. Ah, ever tickle there, little bugger. Hurts like a... Ugh. This is what I chip, guys. I use my little hammer chipper and I chip the cement away from the tie. And then afterwards I'm going to go by and I'm going to break all the ties off. I just find it really easier with a little chipper instead of a hammer. So guys, you got yourself one of these fancy tie breakers. Remember that tool? We did it when we first did the forms. So the form was on there and we broke them off. And now we have to take off them again so they're nice and flush with the wall. And that's the idea of it, guys. Slow and steady and take them all off. It really isn't that hard, but like everything, you could work for yourself or you could work for somebody else. It's the same work, dude. So YouTube, we wet-proofed our wall the other day. You saw me rolling it, kind of doing it backwards. Now we're doing our tile. This is for tile drain. It runs into the sump pump hole. And if you look way down there, Sam was making sure that we got 2 feet against the wall shoveled out. And then he's kind of putting the tile against the wall. So our next step after that, guys, is when we put this against the wall, we're going to put our gravel in here like 2 feet, and then after that we're going to put a black tarp. Because my sand has a high silt content, I'm going to put some geotextile on top. That way if the water ever does try and penetrate, it won't fill the gravel full of sand. There we go, guys. So guys, these are for actually holding electric fence wire for cows. Anyways, I use them to hold the pipe tight to the wall. I'll put my gravel in, then I'll pull them out. Use them back on the field again. Just keep it to hold my pipe against the wall. Hey?
You have 3 machines in your yard and you have to work like that?
Yeah. So YouTube, I backfilled around some of my foundation. It was a rainy day yesterday, and what a wonderful day to sit in an old shovel and put some dirt back. I didn't do all the way around the house, but I did around my septic box, which is here. This is where my foundation is raised up a little bit. I raised it up 6 feet. That way I don't have to pump sewage Yeah, I don't feel like pumping sewage. I'd rather it like drain downhill into the tank. It's nice that way. And I'm gonna put a couple of tees in. I'll show you that little trick around my tile drain. And I'll show you what I did in the garage. And guys, this is the beginning of my garage. I threw in some dirt. I gotta pack it down. I got a jumping jack tamper coming tomorrow. So I put in roughly around a foot of dirt because it'll compact a foot at a time. And I gotta put enough sand in to be level with my garage door. And then I'm gonna put in my little bit of gravel. I don't know, 5 or 6 inches, but my gravel I'm gonna use to grade. That way any water happens in here, gonzo, down to the creek. So guys, there's my fancy orange tee. Connects all my tile drain around the house and runs through that wall into the sump pump hole. I gotta put some gravel here. And I gotta run my black tarp on top of it. I just put my black tarp on it because my sand silt content is really high. And it will penetrate the gravel and actually fill into that pipe if I get enough water. But I'm awfully high. My water table is so low, I probably will never pump water ever, which is a blessing. So, I'm gonna put some gravel here, put my tarp in. So guys, I shoveled a scoop over the wall. And I'm bringing my last little bit of gravel here because I was a little bit short. And I couldn't reach from over there and over there and over there and over there. So I get to use the old manpower to shovel the last little 6 feet. So guys, I went and got my tarp. And I flipped up the tarp at the other end here, as you can see behind me. And I'm gonna run my tarp to here. And then I'm gonna backfill it afterwards. This was my little piece I couldn't reach with a shovel. What a beautiful Sunday morning. My friend is showing up with a dump truck and we're gonna fill the base gravel in the foundation now. I'll show you how it's done shortly. He's on his way. So guys, now that I hoisted my bobcat into the hole, I'm gonna level all this gravel. Save myself a stone slinger trip. And now guys, I'm gonna dig the hole by hand to put in my sump pump and connect my 2 lines up to it. Then I'll get a little bit of gravel put in, and my next step will be sheet that with plastic to get ready for cement for the floor. A drywall router, guys. Works like a charm. Hey, Ninja Star.